What's up, world? This is Salim with Flip for Figs, and today I'll be reviewing waves 1 and 2 of the Final Fantasy VII Polygon collection. Let's do it.
Flip for Figs.
When I flip, you flip, we flip.
Alrighty, so if you're unfamiliar with the Polygon collection from Square Enix, basically around the time of the release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Square Enix thought it would be fun to create a line of blind box collectibles. And so they decided to use the likeness of the polygon models from the original Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 1. So every character you see here looks probably 100% identical to the way that the polygon model looked like in the game. You may consider that a good thing or a bad thing. And I personally think it's awesome. I have so many fond memories of playing Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation. If you watched my review of the Final Fantasy VII Bring Arts collection, you know that Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game of all time. And so these polygon models are etched into my very existence. Now, Wave 1 came out around the time of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and basically the characters that you had the options of getting were Cloud, Sephiroth, Barret, Aerith, Red 13, Reno from the Turks, and then basically there was a secret or bonus character, which was Cloud in the dress from the scene at the wall market in Don Corleone's mansion when he wore the disguise. So that was wave one. And I bought the entire set in this box that you see right here off of eBay, and it was sealed. And I opened one by one, and I was like, oh wow, I got every single character, including Cloud in the dress. So at the time, I thought that as long as you bought the whole box, you would get every character guaranteed. And I was like, maybe in Japan they sell these boxes individually, but if you buy the whole set together, I guess you're guaranteed to get everyone. So I was super excited about that, and I got every character. I do remember being a little bit disappointed that the secret character was Cloud in the dress because there was so many other characters I would have preferred, but it seemed inevitable we would get an additional line of figurines, and of course we did. Around the time of the second Final Fantasy remake game in the series, which was Rebirth. I may have mistakenly referred to the release of Wave 1 around Rebirth, but it was actually Remake. And then around the time of Rebirth, they announced Wave 2. Now, Wave Two's characters were basically Kate Sith, Sid, Yuffie with the little save, checkpoint icon, as well as Rufus and Sung and Rude from the Turks, and a Shinra soldier. And the secret character was Zack. And I remember thinking, okay, Zack is a way cooler secret character than Cloud in the dress. And so I actually pre-ordered the entire box of Wave 2 from Big Bad Toy Store. And I really believed in my heart of hearts that it would be the same type of situation as when I got the first series, that I would get one of every character, and as long as you bought the whole box, you're guaranteed to get every one of every character. So obviously that wasn't the case. As you can see, I have two Shinra soldiers displayed here, and that's because I got two of them and I did not get Zack. And I was super disappointed because I paid around $80 for this set, including the tariff surcharge. And I did see some sellers on eBay selling the entire set with Zack for a little over 120. So I don't know if Square originally with Wave 1 included every character, including Cloud in the dress in the series, but based on the prices of the Cloud in the dress disguise individually, it seems like maybe I just got lucky and not everyone did get that figure. So here I am now with waves 1 and 2. And again, I don't have Zack. I do have Cloud in the dress, but I would have preferred to have Zack if I could only have one of those secret characters. And so now I'm in a conundrum of like, okay, Zack by himself is selling for around $80. Do I go ahead and buy Zack to have the complete collection? Do I wait until Wave 3 to see what we get with them? Or do I sell this entire set and then just pay maybe an extra 50 once I get my money back to get the whole set with Zack? So I don't really know what I'm going to do. But either way, because I had anxiously awaited this set, I decided now would be a good time to review it. And so overall, my thoughts again, I really love these characters. I mean, say what you will about PlayStation 1 graphics. I remember there was a lot of talk about Final Fantasy VII when it came out because the cutscenes and a lot of the battle sequences, the graphics were really impressive, but the regular standard in-game models on the world map, were these polygon characters. So a lot of people thought that it was kind of a bait and switch of like, okay, Final Fantasy VII is both the most visually impressive game of all time, but also kind of the silliest looking game of all time. But it's very endearing to me. Obviously, amazing graphics would come to Final Fantasy in a short period of time, and so I personally have a lot of fond memories of this Polygon lineup, and I'm really happy to have this collection. And I'm sure we'll get a Wave 3 once the time of the third and final game in the remake series is announced, because we still don't have Vincent and we don't have Elena from the Turks. Those are pretty much the two main characters who are still missing. As far as who else we might get, that I don't know. I mean, I think that it would probably be cool to get Don Corleone, maybe Tifa and Aerith in their disguises, as well, just so you have, like, since you have Cloud in the dress and you get their disguises. And it would make sense because they really need to flesh out the rest of the Wave 3 lineup, and there's not that many characters left. The other things I could see is I think it'd be cool to have like Barret in the sailor costume from, when they're on Junon, or Red 13 in the sailor costume. It would also be cool to have maybe some of the other members of Shinra, like Scarlet or Hojo. Now that I think about it, I think Hojo would be definitely a given because he was a really prominent character. Maybe President Shinra, maybe Heidegger, or I think Palmer, the one in it's slipping me, but Rocket Town. So yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of characters we can get, and it's inevitable that we'll get a Wave 3. I am kind of disappointed that they didn't just make Zack a main character or include him in every box set if you buy the whole box set, because I haven't seen these individual sets sold anywhere. I like the individual boxes, like the blind boxes. I've never seen those sold anywhere here. Maybe it's only in Japan. And so if you're ordering it online like me, I don't even know that you can order individual boxes, like blind boxes. I think you just get the whole set. So with that said, here's all of the different characters. I think, some of my personal favorites, I think Barret is great just because he's bigger and more substantial than the rest. Kate Sith is cool because Kate Sith is one of the characters that was always kind of missing from every line that was released. You always got just the cat and not the Moogle, so it's nice having the full Moogle there. I think Reno is really cool because he's got the red hair, and I do like the Shinra soldiers, and I'm glad that they gave you two of the Shinra soldiers, because I guess with Series 1, if you didn't get Cloud in the dress, you just got another Cloud, which is kind of a bummer. So I'm glad that they give you two Shinra soldiers, because it makes sense having multiple of those, and you can pretend that one of them is Cloud from his disguise on Junon as well. So I think that's kind of cool. Um, but yeah, it's a fun little line of characters. In fact, Square Enix did eventually release Series 1 as kind of a box set where, it's got a clear plastic front so you could see all the characters. It doesn't include Cloud in the dress, but it includes all the main characters. And so I'm assuming they'll do the same thing with Wave 2. It's got a little bit more shelf presence than this box of other boxes. But again, I'm kind of still at this dilemma of how I'm going to get Zack, but I think I'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, I mean, this is it's great kind of seeing the whole evolution of Final Fantasy VII. So you have the Polygon line, you have the Bring Arts line, which looks like the art from the original game, and then you also have the remake, or remake/rebirth collection of figures, which are obviously much bigger. And so having all of them together and being able to show like Cloud in every version is pretty cool. And so, yeah, overall, it's a great lineup, and I'm happy to have it. And you can be sure that once I eventually get Wave 3, after it's announced and after it comes out, I will definitely add them to this collection and do another collection overview. But yeah, this was my review of the Final Fantasy VII Polygon collection, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments which of these are your favorite, or whether or not you're choosing to collect these, and let me know if you got Zack. I don't know if he was more rare than Cloud in the Dress. I only have 2 examples to go by, and I got the secret character once, but not the other time. So I'm at 50-50 right now. But it'd be interesting to know if like one was harder to get than the other. And I do hope to eventually add Zack to the collection. I've even thought about maybe trading Cloud in the Dress for Zack, but then I am a completionist, and so I feel like if I get Zack, then I'm gonna, regret letting go of Cloud in the Dress. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like Final Fantasy content, I do release Final Fantasy content periodically. My next video will probably be a Bring Arts Kingdom Hearts collection tour. And then once I add the Turks as well as Zack from the Bring Arts line to my collection, they're currently at C, so I anticipate getting them in the next maybe 4 to 6 weeks. I will do a collection overview of the Turks as well as Zack. So be sure to subscribe to this channel if you're interested in Final Fantasy or Square Enix content. And yeah, I'll see you next time.
When I flip, you flip, we flip.